What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I bet you didn't know, but I'm about to inform you, that the term Jedi is, in fact, deeply problematic, and the only way that you can make up for ever using this term in a positive manner is by clicking the like button on this video, and also by clicking the red subscribe button. There's literally no other way that you can redeem humankind other than that. Now that you've done that, Scientific American has declared the term Jedi inappropriate for movements of social justice. Now, I want to point out, this is a statement made by an organization called Scientific American. Scientific. J.W. Hammond and a bunch of other morons wrote an article why the term Jedi is problematic. In the article, they note that Jedi is being used as an acronym to stand for Justice, Equality, Diversity, and Inclusion. However, they take issue with the acronym because of its associations with the Jedi in the Star Wars universe. What do you mean, associations? The term Jedi is created. It's not associated with. The term Jedi is Star Wars. They specifically claim that Jedi are inappropriate mascots for social justice. As for why, they immediately point to, of course, race. Quote, "They are a religious order of intergalactic police monks prone to white saviorism and toxically masculine approaches to conflict resolution, including oppressive duels with phallic lightsabers, gaslighting by means of Jedi mind tricks. The Jedi are also an exclusionary cult, membership to which is partly predicated on the possession of heightened psychic and physical abilities or force sensitivity." Well, first and foremost, let's just pretend this is all real. The existence of Jedi, to me, is more real than what it is these morons are saying. There's a couple of hilariously insane statements just that I has previously noted to you. And again, I must point out, this is an article by Scientific American. Now, first of all, the Jedi is not an exclusionary cult. It has no means by which it excludes people from their force sensitivity. So in fact, it allows all who are force sensitive a chance to join their ranks. The idea that you're going to worry that a lightsaber is phallic shaped, I would honestly 100% believe you if you told me that this was a meme. That all of this was just a joke and the joke's on all of us. Because quite frankly, I can't think of another reason why I should take this seriously. Quote, "First off, it's unclear why the Jedi being a religious order is wrong or acting as a police force is wrong. That seems to be a reflection of the author's views rather than anything else. I think there's a word about discriminating against one's religion. This is via John F. Trent over on Bounding into Comics. Secondly, the claim of white saviorism rings hollow given that the main leaders of the Jedi Order is Mace Windu, played by Samuel L. Jackson, one of them. Excuse me. Thirdly, while some of the authors claim to be Star Wars fans, it's clear that by these first couple sentences, that they never paid attention to the movies. In The Phantom Menace, the Jedi are sent to peaceably resolve the trade dispute between Naboo and the Trade Federation. They only responded with force after the Trade Federation's attempt to end them. But go on about meanie duels and toxic masculine approaches, whatever that means. The gaslighting claim, also hilarious, as this entire article is an attempt to gaslight Star Wars and the Jedi. After making these ridiculous claims, they go on to make some more strikingly force-wielding talents are narratively explained in Star Wars not merely in spiritual terms, but also in ableist and eugenic ones. These supernatural powers are naturalized as biological hereditary attributes. So it's the Force potential is framed as a dynastic property of noble bloodlines. For example, the Skywalker dynasty. The Force disparities are rendered innate physical properties, measurable via midichlorian counts, not unlike Force genetics tests, and augmentable via humanoid engineering. They then conclude, the heroic Jedi are thus emblems for a host of dangerously reactionary values and assumptions. Sending the message that justice work is akin to cosplay is bad enough. Dressing up our initiatives in the symbolic garb of the Jedi is worse. Now, if you told me that this was a meme assignment, like, hey, what if the world was absolutely insane? And let's pick two topics out of a hat. They picked the term Jedi and they picked the term problematic. And their assignment is that they need to write the most ridiculously absurd, thesis on it as they can, and to be convincing. I would believe that that was the nexus of this. As defined by Merriam-Webster, eugenics is the practice of advocacy of controlled selective breeding in human populations, as by sterilization, to improve their genetic composition. This is not practiced in Star Wars or by the Jedi Order. The claim is absurd, and to claim that checking your midichlorian count is like a Force genetics test is dumb as well. Doctors check all kinds of things in your body when they take blood and other samples, and no sane person is comparing those to eugenics or ableism. Not only are the Jedi problematic in their minds, but they claim Star Wars has a problematic cultural legacy. They explain that the space opera franchise has been critiqued for trafficking in injustices such as various isms and ableism. Think, for example, of the so-called slave Leia costume infamous for stripping down and chaining up the movie series' first leading woman as part of an Orientalist subplot. Clearly, these arguments are getting more and more absurd, and it's even more obvious they didn't watch the films. The guy who captures Princess Leia for trying to free Han Solo from his clutches is Jabba the Hutt, an evil gangster. He dresses her up as a trophy to be displayed, showing off his power. However, by the end of the story, it's Leia who's ending that said gangster with the chain that Hutt, in fact, bound her with. Nice little symbolism there. As for Orientalist subplot, are they claiming that Jabba the Hutt is supposed to be an Arab because he happens to be based on Tatooine? If so, that makes no sense. And now they're accusing, of course, Star Wars of racism. Nevertheless, they double down on those very same claims, saying Star Wars arguably conflates the alienness with non-whiteness, often seeming to rely on racist stereotypes when depicting non-human species. This doesn't even make any sense. It's probably why they didn't provide any examples whatsoever. How is Admiral Akbar a stereotype? Like I said, the article is full of gaslighting. Next, they point to ableism. The series regularly defaults into ableist tropes, memorably in the portrayal of Darth Vader, in which links the villain's physical disability with mechanic inhumanity and moral deviance, presenting his technology-assisted breathing as a sinister auditory maker of danger and doom. Luke Skywalker literally gets a mechanical arm to replace the one that was chopped off by Darth Vader, and he's still the hero. And the other extreme is R2-D2 and C-3PO are literal robots who are also portrayed as heroic despite being the comedic relief. What's more, the bodies and voices centered in Star Wars have, with few exceptions, historically been those of white men. And while recent films have increased gender and racial diversity, important questions remain regarding how meaningfully such changes represent a departure from the series' most problematic past. James Earl Jones is the literal voice of Darth Vader. Lando Calrissian has an excellent story arc full of betrayal and redemption. Mace Windu is one of the main leaders of Jedi Order. Again, do I have to ask, do these people even watch the movies? The authors also take note with the fact that Disney owns Star Wars. Jedi connects justice initiatives to corporate capital. They specifically point out Disney. We are in effect providing that corporation, Disney, with free form of advertising, commodifying and cheapening our justice work in the process. So such informal co-branding entangles our initiatives with Disney's morally messy past. Now that I'll get on board with. It may also serve to rebrand and whitewash Disney by linking one of its signature products to social justice. After all, Disney has a long and troubling history of circulating racist, heterosexist, and orientalist natives and imagery, which the corporation and its subsidiaries like Pixar are publicly reckoning with. Next, they claim aligning justice work with Star Wars risks threatening inclusion and sense of belonging. Star Wars is popular but divisive. Identifying our initiatives with it may nudge them closer to the realm of fandom manufacturing in-groups and out-groups. Those unfamiliar or uncomfortable with Star Wars, including those hurt by the messages it sends, who's that, may feel alienated by the parade of jokes, puns, and references surrounding the term Jedi. Scientific American is the one that published this garbage. There is absolutely nothing about what is contained in this article that could be called scientific. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you subscribe and you leave a like on it, and we'll talk to you again real soon.